Good morning all for Thursday, the 1st of September. I'm afraid to say the start of meteorological autumn. So with that in mind, pressure's reducing and there's fronts not too far away. As we go through into the next couple of days, it's going to become a little bit more unsettled, a little bit more autumnal. So yes, it's a change is coming through. We've still got this easterly wind, but an occluded front not too far away, bringing with it some cloud, but probably not too thick. We should get some reasonable breaks in it at times. The winds over the country, similar to yesterday, really, sort of 15 to 20 knots at flying height, so 10 knots on the ground. And the satellite picture over the UK shows a fairly cloudy start with that occlusion sat in the channel. Cloud all at varying levels across England and Wales, but should sort of lift and break as it goes on. Top temperature today of 22 degrees with sunny intervals and reasonable visibility with that, and some rain tonight from the looks of it, so you might want to pop your gliders away this evening. And it does look like it may get a little bit more unsettled over the weekend. GFS predicts maybe 23 degrees, sort of seasonal average, or maybe even slightly above seasonal average now. So yeah, make the most of that. And dew points sort of sat around 10 degrees. David was sort of talking this morning about still this wind direction coming from sort of the Thames estuary and the amount of top cover that we have. But yeah, it does look better out to our west than to the northwest. So I think yesterday people had a lot of fun, so you should be able to get away again with that today. Odium are currently reporting northeasterly at 12 knots, scattered 1,200 feet and improving. And as you can see on here, it's going to take a little while to improve. Potentially, it'll take until sort of lunchtime before we get a reasonable base. But yeah, it looks nice after that. And let's just go to sky sights. Sky sight for today, showing potential flight distance of not a great deal, unfortunately, on this model. So better in the northwest, but a large and soarable area near us, according to this. The risk of an isolated shower, it seems quite unlikely. I will just have a look at the rain radar whilst we're waiting, but yeah, you can see the odd bit of drizzly stuff that's been moving around, but I think fairly isolated. Been lucky to catch that. Frozen. Oh, there we are. That's better. Later today, climbs of around sort of 2 knots up to around 1,300 meters or so. If you can get around some of the bad weather, it does look like there is some cross country for the brave, but it's looking a little bit tricky today with that in mind. So yes, and cumulus cloud base. Well, we've got quite a lot of medium level cloud at the moment, but this afternoon probably seeing a mid-level cloud and cumulus sort of sat around the 4,000 foot mark. Cloud cover in general, quite a lot of top cover across the region and down to the southwest, but some breaks in that cloud hopefully during the day. And as you can see, some shower activity. This says we get a shower soon, but I don't think that's what it looks like. We'll keep an eye on what this is doing, but I'm not convinced it's causing us a great deal of worry at the moment. So yeah, it looks a bit tricky, but much like yesterday, I think it's ended up being better than expected the last couple of days. Your site forecast for Lasham then, sort of this afternoon, cloud bases of around 3,500 feet to 4,000 feet. Weak to moderate climbs, and yeah, with a temperature of 23 degrees. Onto airspace then, and there's probably not a huge great deal at the moment. We do have a red arrows transit, which I will just get the times for. It's the Bournemouth Air Festival this weekend, which doesn't really cause us too much of a problem because it's mostly contained within the Bournemouth TTR anyway. But just for information, at around sort of just before 2 o'clock, the red arrows are coming from the Fairford direction, sort of just to the west of Popham, Bullingdon, and then down towards Bournemouth. So yeah, just keep an eye out for them. Salisbury Plain appears to be active, and that really is it. And yeah, so don't go anywhere near Bournemouth. I don't think that'll worry you unless you're in a motor glider. Operationally today, we are runway 09 again. These easterlies continue. I'm just going to check that there's no jet movements. No, there's none at the moment. So we'll get cracking and we'll see you on the airfield shortly. Bye for now.